Oh, buongiorno. How can you not be entertained with AC Milan? Every week we have a different cliffhanger, something exciting happens. It's better than Game of Thrones, honestly. And I bet is a lot more fun for Interisti and Juventini. Anyway, before we get into the ratings, I wanted to talk about the goals that we considered, see what happened and why it happened. So let's get into it right away. So the first goal, I blame most of the fault onto Emerson Royal, aka the GOAT, because you cannot be passed that easily in Serie A. It's just like it's embarrassing, honestly. But let's see what happens. I did my best to recreate the action since I cannot show like official footage. Take a look at the highlights to understand what I'm saying. So this is what happened. Balls go to Lazzari. And then goes to Dia, and then Nuna goes. And there is the goal. Okay, so this is the recreation of what happened. Now let's see the movements and what happens with the players. So when this was Guendouzi, I think, when he got the ball, we saw that Chukwueze went in to press, but he was too bland as a pressing, and he was too late. So he had the time to give the ball to Lazzari. Meanwhile, Nuno was passing in front of Emerson Royal, cutting his way, and Emerson Royal was too late to reach Lazzari. But when he did reach Lazzari, he got past really easily, and so all the defense of AC Milan went in panic because nobody expected that, rightfully so. But you always have to expect some mistakes, so the defense has to be more aware and more prepared for this kind of stuff, right? So Fofana was marking Dia in the beginning. It was very close to him. Then what happened is that Fofana didn't see Dia because Dia went from his back, and so Dia had all of this space. You see how much space there is here now? While Tomori was reaching to mark Nuno because he was left alone by Emerson Royal. Another thing that happened here is that Pavlovic, if you watch the footage, you will understand better, but he does a step forward to do some sort of to do the offside trap. That's what was his idea, but Terracciano was too late, and because of that move from Pavlovic, Terracciano did a step forward, and then because of that he will be too late and too far away from Castellano to reach it and prevent him to score the goal. We can see here when Dia gets the ball, now Terracciano is too far away. Nuno Hernandez passes Tomori. Tomori didn't read what Nuno Hernandez was doing, I think. And then Reijnders tried to go into Nuno Hernandez, but it was too late in doing so. Pavlovic could do better here as well, and therefore the goal. Also, the other thing is that when Reijnders was in this position here, when Nuno crossed, he retracted his body. If you see, he does like a movement, like he's scared of the ball. Not the best defensive thing to do, but yeah. And this was the first goal. I blame it mostly on Emerson Royal. He got past way too easily. Fofana should have been paying attention to Dia behind him. Terracciano, honestly, it was late, but because he followed Pavlovic into the offside trap. Everybody could have done better defensively. It was a mess, and the worst thing is that we had all the squad. It's like the defense was there, So this is it's a goal that you cannot concede in Serie A. And now we go to the second goal. The second goal is incredibly similar to the first one. What happened is that Fofana throw the ball here. There was something happening here. He threw the ball that reached Nuno Hernandez. Chukwueze again was a little bit too slow with the pressing, a little bit too bland, and he couldn't make it on time. So Nuno could pass the ball to Zaccagni, and again Emerson Royal didn't know what to do here. So he stayed with Zaccagni until the very end when Nuno was passing in front of him. So it was a really easy pass for Nuno Hernandez, and then Emerson was too slow to reach him again. But here, there was a duel here, Dia and Pavlovic. Pavlovic got destroyed in this duel, and Tomori, to be honest, if he put his foot a little bit more forward, he could have intercepted the ball, but it didn't happen. And so it was another easy goal for Lazio. So you see, it is the same kind of mistakes, players not pressing, and the weak defensive side, our right side, is really our weak point. So if you see all the goals that AC Milan conceded, they're quite similar. So before the proper ratings, I wanted to take a look also at some statistics, which tells a lot. Some statistics are useful. So for example, we saw that Fonseca told the squad to play more defensively. But what baffles me, it's the number of tackles did by our midfielders, our pivot, Reijnders and Fofana. 0. 0 tackles done and 0 tackles win. Now for 2 pivot, I think they should do better, right? So another thing that you can see is the progressive carries are significantly poor for those 2 players, which is a sign that Fonseca wanted them to stay on defense more. And we also can see that the passing, if we go at the most touches, are from our 2 defenders, Pavlovic and Tomori, because Fonseca told that many times that he wants to play the build-up play from the bottom, from the defensive third. But if you saw the first half, all the passages, all these touches were useless, because it was like all touches between the defense and Lazio wasn't pressing. Also, I'd like you to look at the number of interceptions from our midfielders, so Tijani and Fofana, which amount of 2. Not that great. Even if Fofana did a good game. So, okay, so let's go into the ratings. The coach Fonseca did a very, very bold choice that I would not have done. He left out Theo Hernandez and Leao. In fact, giving Lazio the opportunity to win the game, because if you're Lazio and you know that the best players of AC Milan are out, that should give you some motivation, right? But it could have been a genius or a madman, and it turned out to be a madman in the end. If he would have won the game, then it would have turned out to be a genius. So yeah, that is football for you. Fonseca showed us that he's not really good at reading the games. We saw in the first half, to be honest, was fine, better than usual. A lot of useless possession from AC Milan, and we didn't have any tactical idea. We couldn't create very much, no schemes, nothing really happening. And the goal, in fact, we got the goal from the corner. But the second half, when the Lazio chose to change his approach to the game, Fonseca went a little bit on panic, and we kept playing in the same way, because this is what Fonseca does. Like, the idea is AC Milan will play his own game no matter what the opponent does, and that's, in my opinion, it's a bad approach to football, because if you see that now you're struggling with Lazio pressing you so hard and being so aggressive, you got to change something, and not at minute 70 when you're down. He admitted at the end of the game that Pavlovic is not good for the build-up, in which I asked, why did you leave Pavlovic in, and he didn't try to change that during the game and not after. I will give Fonseca a 4 for this game. And now let's go into the players. Let's start from the left. Terracciano. Terracciano 5. Terracciano, okay, he tried his best, okay? He played in the way that Fonseca wanted him to play. He kept attacking, trying to be more in the attacking third of Lazio, but he got ignored by all of his teammates. If you watch the game, you can see that he's being isolated quite a lot. And defensively speaking, he's just not a player for AC Milan. He doesn't have the quality to play in a team like AC Milan. I appreciate him doing his best, but he just is not good enough, and we knew this. So, and that's why keeping out there now, it's a terrible decision, and kind of a bad punishment, because then you punish the team as well. Pavlovic, in the first half played a great game. I'll give him a 6. I mean, 7 for the first half and 5 for the second half. So let's do half, a 6. He saved us from another goal in the first minutes of the game, and then he scored a goal worth of a striker. And then after, in the second half, I guess all the team went into confusion, and he couldn't lead the defense very well. His friend Tomori, I'll give him 5.5. Quite inattentive, many mistakes in the build-up, and zoned out. I don't know what happened to Tomori. It was slow, too slow in the second goal. He couldn't recover. Too slow in in the first one too. So not a good game from Tomori. Tomori's involution is very worrying to me. Emerson Royal, 4. Is it too high? The goals are, I don't want to say they're totally his fault, but they kind of are his fault. A disaster. This was a disaster as a game from Emerson Royal. Too easy to pass. Way too easy. It looked like an amateur player. When he tried to attack, he didn't do much. A very terrible start for a problem that we have had for a long time now in the right side of the field. And we saw that in the game he was staying back a lot while Terracciano was going up, right? Because I guess Fonseca told him to still stay locked with the defense. And that makes sense. But if he can't defend even, and he can't attack, then we are in trouble. And here I get the vibe of, maybe if we didn't gift Kalulu to Juventus, maybe Kalulu would be playing as a starter in this formation. Pivot, we have Reijnders and Fofana. Fofana, I liked Fofana. He played fast. If you watch the game again, you will see like a one touch. Was very fast, good cleanup, a little bit negligent in the first goal, but the overall performance of Fofana, I think it was good, and I will give him 6.5 for the future. There you go. Probably a 6 will be more fair. But he actually played good apart from the first goal. Good game from him. But his partner, Reijnders, is sacrificed there. As a pivot, Reijnders, we saw that he cannot defend well, and if he doesn't go on and attack either, then it's practically useless in the middle of the field. I'll give him a 5.5. This is not his fault, this is the coach's fault. Because he told him to play there, and if Reijnders doesn't attack, then his talent is a little bit wasted. And let's go into the attacking. Pulisic, what can you say to Pulisic? He was helping when he was attacking, it was helping when we were defending. I'll give him a 7. Pulisic is embodied the sacrifice that I would love to see from the whole team. He's always giving his best, doing his best. On the left, we saw him we saw him like playing different role every game now. He did the job that Leao should do while defending, but Leao doesn't do that. There's a big problem with this module. Is that Leao doesn't help the team defending, and if he does pressing Leao, it's kind of a snobbish pressing. While like if you see Pulisic playing there, he was very good, which is why I can understand leaving Leao on the bench, but not Theo Hernandez. On the middle, we had Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, it's useless. In that position, Loftus-Cheek, it's useless. I'll give him a 5 because, again, I could not notice his presence on the field. The only time that he proved to be a little bit dangerous is when he started from the midfield and tried to do one of his progressions, as if we were playing like on a 4-3-3. Loftus-Cheek there, it doesn't convince me. It doesn't convince anyone from what I saw. It looks like there is not a role for Loftus-Cheek in this team. I don't know where he could play. He might try it again with a defensive midfielder, but I did not like the game of Loftus-Cheek there. And then Chukwueze, I'll give him 4 because it's true that Emerson Royal has a lot of problems as a player, but Chukwueze, it was useless when we were attacking, and then doing the pressing was useless. It was too late. If this is Chukwueze, then I don't know what to say. Okay, we're like the preseason of AC Milan was a totally different thing from what we saw in this beginning, and it's like it's never happened. If you see Milan play then and play now, is like, is this the same team? What happened? And instead of Loftus-Cheek, I would like to see Liberali, since the market is closed and we can do nothing. If Fonseca insists with this module, then I would like to see Liberali there, because Loftus-Cheek, not good. But yeah, Chukwueze, terrible Chukwueze, just terrible. Awful game from Chukwueze. Now let's go into the attack. Okafor. So we played the whole game without a striker, okay, without like a proper point of reference in the attack. And in fact, if you saw Okafor, he a lot of the times he came back to the midfield and then he went into the left, which is a natural role, I guess. But as a striker, it's not effective. He played a better game by doing so, by going to the left, and he created a lot of problems for Lazio's defense. So overall, it wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't decisive. I prefer Okafor starting from the left. And then we have the substitutes. Then we're going to talk about the cooling break as well. The substitutes: Leao, Hernandez, Abraham, and who came in? And Musah. I forgot about Musah. Leao, I will give him a 7. This is the Leao that I would like to see every game of AC Milan. Aggressive, anger, agonism, and this should not happen only when he gets a punishment. If Leao plays like this every game, or if we play with this attitude every game, nobody ever, as supporters, will have to say anything about Leao. Because if Leao, did you see what Leao can do? Leao can do this, and it should do it every game. So I'll give him a 7 because I want to see this more. Hernandez, I'll give him a 6. And we'll keep it there. And then we have Musah. Musah, will give him a 6. Didn't do much, but yeah. And Abraham, I will give him a 6.5. Abraham, surprisingly, did good. Were you expecting this? No, nobody was expecting this. The goal that we scored was very beautiful, and I wish this is the type of goal we usually score, but it was probably just a coincidence, because Abraham didn't train with AC Milan, and this goal is born from Leao and his aggressive behavior on the pitch. You know that I'm not the biggest fan of Abraham, but this game, whatever he played, the 20 minutes he did, he was good. Nothing to say. Oh, he didn't do the 5th change. Was he afraid that to do the same mistakes with Rome and do like too many substitutions and then lose the game? I think that might be it. So let's talk a little bit about the cooling break. Do I condone acts like this from the players? Absolutely not. These players get paid millions. This is professional football. You do not behave like this in professional football. If you have some problems with the coach, you talk with the coach privately, not publicly. You don't create this mediatic mess that we don't need right now. I know that in the end they had to say, yeah, no, we were not tired, so we stayed there. No, because they got called by the coach to come with the team, with everybody, and they refused, okay? So obviously the management told them, no, you go in front of the cameras, and he said that it's all good, right? That's crystalline, that's clear, okay? I do not condone these kind of things. even if they are angry against Fonseca. I don't care. You don't show this to everybody on TV, to millions of supporters. This is very disrespectful, and I hope that stuff like this doesn't happen again. Let me know what you think. Let me know your scores, your ratings, and yeah. Now we have 2 weeks of a break. Well, we have some stuff to talk about, so we'll see. Ciao ciao. Ciao 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 ragazzi. Ciao ciao.